What if I told you that taking these 12 different supplements would double your muscle mass in as little as 60 days? Yeah, I wish, but unless you plan on blasting gear and dying at the age of 35, nothing beats hard work, consistency, and a solid diet. That said, there are a few supplements that actually make a difference. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those are. By the end, you'll know what works and what doesn't, so you can stop wasting money and stop leaving gains on the table. I remember a few years ago when I first started going to the gym. I was always a tall and lengthy kid, so I wanted to put on as much muscle as possible. So I went to a local supplement store with the idea that I was just getting some protein powder. However, about 30 minutes later, I left the store with about 10 supplements, all of which had these big claims to increase my muscle mass, increase my testosterone, increase my joint health. They were all these things that I never heard of before. Honestly, there's probably some truth to the claims that they had. However, it was very minimal. I didn't really notice any difference from taking these things, and I just found I wasted money on them. Since then though, I've learned a lot, whether it's been through working out consistently for the past few years or working at getting my personal trainer certificate. I've learned what works, what doesn't work, and have saved myself a lot of money while still optimizing my muscle growth. I kind of play the 80-20 rule with supplements. I take very few things, but the 20% of things that I do take produce 80% of the results.
Go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should go. Feel like I should go. Feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should, feel like I should.
The first supplement that I take and that I recommend taking is creatine. It's honestly a no-brainer. It's the most studied supplement out there, and it has been proven to work well time and time again. Your body does produce some, and you do get a little bit from the food that you eat. However, when you're lifting weight constantly, you're not getting an optimal amount. Taking a creatine supplement saturates your muscles with it, so it's available when your body needs it during a workout. What most people do when starting creatine is they take 20 grams per day, split into 4 different scoops for about a week. This saturates your muscles with it, and then afterwards, what they do and what I do is take 5 grams per day in order to keep your muscles saturated. Creatine will help you build strength and muscle. There's a few different forms of creatine out there. I personally take creatine monohydrate. This is the most popular form out there, and when people say they take creatine, this is usually what they mean. It also has the benefit of making you look more jacked because of the water weight that it brings into your muscles. However, if you do find monohydrate upsets your stomach, then I'd recommend trying creatine HCl, as that's supposed to be easier on your stomach. As to when to take your creatine, that honestly doesn't matter as much. Just make sure that you're consistent with it and that you're taking it daily. The next supplement that I recommend you take is protein. Protein is a macronutrient, which basically means your body needs it in large quantities. The average person doesn't need to supplement with it. However, when you're lifting weights, your body needs a lot more protein to build and repair muscles. So it's recommended to intake at least 0.7 grams per pound of body weight per day. Ideally, you get this in your diet. However, that is very difficult to do. So this is where protein supplementation comes into play. I typically drink a protein shake every night before I go to bed. There are quite a few different things that you can get protein from. Typically, most people get their protein from whey. I find whey protein tastes a lot better than egg protein, and it's a lot more bioavailable and better for building muscle than vegan source proteins are. Whey protein even has a bunch of different forms like concentrate, isolate, and hydrolysate. I usually stick to isolate as it's easier on my stomach and it's not as expensive as hydrolysate. If you've watched my previous videos, you might have noticed that I'm not in Colombia or Argentina right now. I am back at my parents' place. My plan is to go hard for the next 7 months and save up some money, get the coaching business going, and build up some momentum to go back down south next year and do it more sustainably this time with more momentum and some more freedom. It's definitely not the most glamorous thing right now, but in order to get ahead in life and take the path less traveled, you sometimes have to make sacrifices like this. So I'm definitely ready to grind it out, get my savings built up, and head back down with some momentum this time. Before I get into the next point, I want to let you guys know about my free fitness accountability group on Discord. It's for anyone who's on their fitness journey, who is looking for a group of people who are also on their fitness journey and want to hold each other accountable. So if that sounds like it's of interest to you, I'll drop the link down in the description of this video. The next supplement that you need to be taking is a multivitamin. Unlike macronutrients where you need a whole lot of it, micronutrients are nutrients you need in small amounts. Even though we need them in small amounts, our modern diet doesn't really provide enough of these things on a day-to-day basis. So that can leave us short if we're relying on diet alone. This is why I make sure to take a multivitamin every day. Do your research here and get onto one that's from a good brand and good quality, as there is a lot of cheap garbage out there that your body just can't absorb. Aside from taking a multivitamin, I also make sure to take magnesium every night. This has helped a bit with my sleep, not tremendously, but I definitely have seen a difference in my sleep scores on my Aura Ring. I use the glycinate, however you want to pronounce it, form, as it's easily absorbed by your body and it doesn't cause any stomach issues, or at least not as much as the other forms. Sleep is imperative when it comes to muscle growth, and if you're not getting good sleep, then your muscles are not growing as much as they could be. So if you make sure that you're getting proper sleep through the use of magnesium or blue light glasses or whatever other thing you want to implement, that's going to ensure that your body maximizes its time repairing and building your muscles, which is going to lead to bigger muscles down the road. It also reduces cortisol, which is a stress hormone that kills your gains if it remains elevated for long periods of time. So it has that benefit as well. Aside from this, I also supplement with vitamin D in the wintertime, as a lot of the vitamin D that your body gets comes from the sun. And in the wintertime, when you don't see the sun that much and you're not outside as often, a lot of people are not getting enough of this. So I make sure to supplement with this as well, as low vitamin D levels are linked to low testosterone levels and not being able to recover as well. Before taking it though, make sure you check your multivitamin if you get one here or if you're taking one, because it might have enough in it. The last supplement that I take is pre-workout. Now, before I get into this, if you don't already drink coffee or consume any caffeine, then you might want to skip this one. Otherwise, if you're like me, you're going to have a lifelong caffeine addiction. So yeah, either skip it or get a stim-free one without caffeine. That way you don't have any risk of getting a caffeine addiction. Pre-workout is going to put you in a much better mood before a workout, which is going to make your lifts a heck of a lot better. If you're just getting into working out, caffeine also has the benefit of reinforcing that habit. Caffeine's the main reason to take pre-workout. There's a lot of other stuff in it that might do something, might not. Like beta alanine delays muscle fatigue, but it also makes your body tingle. So don't be alarmed when it starts to do that after taking pre-workout. Citrulline malate is another ingredient in pre-workout. It increases your blood flow, giving you a better pump, and it also improves endurance. Make sure you do some research here. Pre-workouts honestly can be a different animal. There's some that have way too much caffeine in them, and there's others that just don't have the best ingredients or the right proportion of ingredients. I know I took one when I was down in Argentina and it had so much niacin in it that it made me like flush, and my skin was red and warm, and I honestly thought I was having an allergic reaction at first, but it turned out to be nothing harmful, but it is just something to look out for. I didn't do my research there. I was in another country. All the ingredients were in Spanish and I just was in there quick grabbing one, and that was kind of the result of that. So just make sure to look into what you're getting and make sure that it's got a decent dosage. The easiest way to do this and research any supplement really is to screenshot the ingredients and then upload the photo to ChatGPT and ask about it. If you guys are wondering how often you should train as a beginner, then I definitely recommend checking out this video right here. And if you enjoyed my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel.